Thanks for joining us on First at 4, a big day here in Southwest Louisiana as President Donald Trump will be making his third trip to Lake Charles. But before we get to our team coverage, we'll start with meteorologist Jacob Durham tracking a cold front. The video went viral and those who saw the aftermath wondered how no one was killed. The man responsible, Cody Davis, appeared in court for sentencing today. KPLC's Teresa Schmidt was there. We'll update the flooding and rain threat in just a moment, but we begin with breaking news. A Calcasieu Parish grand jury today declined to indict a Lake Charles police officer involved in a deadly shooting in January. The man who pleaded guilty in connection with the death of 2-year-old Willow Rain Renteria Molina has been sentenced to 80 years in prison. The president will host the rally at the Lake Charles Civic Center, and while tickets have been available since the commander-in-chief first announced his trip, having a ticket does not guarantee you a seat inside. This is a special expanded edition of 7 News at 6, with President Trump expected to arrive soon for his third visit to Southwest Louisiana as president. But first, thousands of Medicaid recipients in Louisiana are learning they may no longer be eligible for the taxpayer-financed health coverage. One Southwest Louisiana mother says her 2-year-old daughter got a denial letter last week. Good evening. I'm Jillian Corder here with Wade Hampton. We've got lots of rain and Wade, more is on the way.
Unfortunately so.
KPLC's Chandler Watkins is live with more from the 3 candidates hoping for your vote. Chandler? And 2 other parishes will be electing a sheriff tonight. KPLC's Robin Richardson has more on the candidates in Allen and Cameron parishes. And with a loaded ballot, election officials are hoping the turnout today is as record-breaking as early voting was in Southwest Louisiana.
Hopefully people studied up on it before they head to the polls.
No shame in taking a cheat sheet into the polling booth with you. I did that today. Thanks for joining us on this First Alert Weather Day. I'm Jillian Corder here with Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton. And Wade, you and your First Alert weather team have been tracking the system all day.
Yes.
How much rain did we see?
Well,
Friday officially marks the beginning of summer. Let's face it, it's been summer for a while here in Southwest Louisiana. And with the rising temperatures, we have a few things to warn you about that maybe you haven't thought of. Top story this afternoon, a Westlake pastor is accused of raping a minor. The Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office arrested 45-year-old John Michael Ward after an anonymous tip was called into the Department of Children and Family Services. That's House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, whose continued speech is streaming right now on KPLCTV.com. Again, this action comes as new details have emerged about a phone call between President Trump and Ukraine's leader. Susan McGinnis has details on that and the latest about the whistleblower case. It's National Voter Registration Day, and though the deadline to register for the October 12th election has already passed, it's not too late to register for the November election.
Keep you posted.
May happen.
Yes.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it for sure. Thanks so much, Wade. Many in Southeast Texas are awaiting word from officials on whether or not they'll be granted federal assistance following Tropical Storm Imelda. From LA to Shanghai and dozens of destinations in between, hundreds of thousands of travelers were stuck Monday. That's after a nearly 200-year-old tour and travel company that predates air travel itself abruptly shut down. So what would you do if suddenly your travel agency, hotel, or tour company went out of business? In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney has a closer look. You know, and the people here were so welcoming, I believe, and very excited that he was coming. Again, like we said from the beginning, despite what your political views might be, this is an exciting time to have the president come to your hometown. And I think a lot of people were very excited. But here in this community in the lake area, LNG is life for a lot of people. These facilities, these industries that we pass by every day employ thousands of people. And I think Cameron Parish Sheriff Ron Johnson, yesterday we spoke to him and he summed it up really well. He said, we've all grown up with pipelines in our backyard. Yeah. This is life for people here. And for the President of the United States to come and acknowledge that, talk to the people who work there and say, way to go to a company that's coming to town is it's a really great feeling. In September, we told you about a 19-year-old hit by a car while riding his motorcycle and left lying in the road. Today, Caleb Brignac is almost fully healed, but the scars from that night are more than just skin deep. Marijuana is exactly what the name suggests, a man-made form of marijuana. But according to medical professionals, this drug has dangerous side effects. The company that was discharging brown water into a canal that flows into the Mermentau River received an order to stop from the Cameron Parish Parish Police Jury. Lake Charles Police Department has investigated over 100 shootings so far this year. The most recent, a homicide investigation stemming from a domestic disturbance earlier this week. We're in for a big change in the weather, even the threat of severe weather. Wade's here with more on that. The case surrounding her death has lasted longer than 2-year-old Willow was alive. Her body was found in 2016, dumped in the woods in Beauregard Parish. The timeline in the case has been all but clear. As a coroner's report revealed, she died May 4th, 2016, but was reported missing a day later. Her mother, Vanessa, claiming she was in the care of this man, Rodney Bailey. A year and 2 months after Willow was found dead, a grand jury indicted Bailey on charges of second-degree cruelty to a juvenile and obstruction. That indictment detailing what investigators believe. Bailey gave the girl drugs and alcohol, did not seek medical care when she suffered a head injury, stuffed her body in a duffel bag, and dumped her in the woods. Not long after his indictment, Vanessa Renteria Molina pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of child desertion. Now was Bailey's turn in court. In a move that came as a shock to his family, he pleaded guilty to both charges. No sentencing date has been set.